It is high.
Voicemails.
It is far.
Voicemails.
And it is God.
Talkin' Yanks voicemail show with BBD and Joez.
Woo! What is going on, y'all? Welcome to the Talking Yanks voicemail app. I am Jules McFly here, joined by BBD and Alex grabbing the Grappler's Corner. Grappling. There he goes. And we are trying to listen to you about the Yanks. If you ever want to join, 908-845-5792. We're here for you, by you, who you. All right.
Who you? Who is you?
Yanks are doing good. Yanks got a lead in the division since the last time we spoke.
They have
A long lead. A bigger lead.
They're like the healthiest they've been as a roster. Fingers crossed, knocking, all that. They're mostly playing like the lineups we want. You and I haven't gotten to discuss this yet, and this episode will have already happened. But last night, Oswaldo gets to start at shortstop over Volpe.
Mm-hmm.
So that was nice of Aaron Boone to let us in on that.
That's good.
That was something. Tough righty on the mound.
It's not a benching, right?
No, just a day.
Just a day.
All we asked for, and then Boone got mad that one time. Which there was always a disconnect. Felt like he just didn't get that we were saying a day off. Anyway, right. Thank everybody for leaving voicemails. We got a good crop.
Yes.
It sounds like today. And you can leave one at 908-845-5792.
Yes.
Yeah, a lot of individual player takes and analysis today, including Volpe, who we'll get to in a sec. But first, we're starting with the bullpen.
Hey, BBD, Joez. This is Joe from Yonkers, and I just have to say, Luke Weaver is so electric. Just so electric. That game 2 in Boston was crazy. Yes. I was watching it in the shower, and I was screaming when Judge hit the grand slam, and then I screamed even more when Weaver got the save and screamed himself. Thank you.
Wow.
Weave's been awesome.
I agree.
He's like even becoming not necessarily the closer. Like they've had other guys mix in. Canely came in for one. Cousins started a 9th inning once. But like since being elevated to generally when he's been used, it's been in a closer type role of late. It's been somehow an even better like next evolution to like his energy and like attitude on the mound. It's palpable.
That first day, the first save that he got, after Clay was demoted, he said that he was nervous, that he couldn't even he almost blacked out.
He hadn't done that before.
Done that. And then now it feels like he's like in an element.
Yeah, got the taste and
that adrenaline rush. This is why we talked about like Clay in the 9th. I'm not saying that he can't do it. I'm just saying let's look for other options that might be better possibly. But you get an extra adrenaline rush when you pitch in the 9th. All the closers talk about it. So when I seen him so pumped up at the end of that game against the Red Sox, I'm like, oh, man, we might have something here because he might thrive on that kind of energy. And just because after a while, that same kind of energy, you may want to seek it. You may want to seek that shot of dopamine that you get when you actually lock it down and get a big save. Or that's a big thing, man.
Yeah.
So
and he's been yelling on the mound. He's been pitching like extra craftily. He's breaking out these like really like dynamic cutters.
Yeah.
I think Boone keeps telling us he has like a version of it he throws to righties and a version he throws to lefties. So that's
he avoids contact too.
He's missing some bats. He's
Strikes
coming up
dudes
in
out.
the big moment.
Oh yeah.
He's been the brightest spot in that bullpen.
Oh yeah. I like that. Love that weave. Appreciate you. Need to see more of you closing games.
All right, now we can move on to Volpe.
Yo, what's up? Love the show. BBD, Joez, de lo mío.
De lo
This is
mío.
Adonis from Yonkers. Yo, what's going on with Volpe, man? I saw that Kirshner tweet. Since June 1st, he has a WRC plus, fourth lowest in the bigs, and he's frustrating the hell out of me, man. Every swing decision he's making is terrible. He's staring at meatballs down the pipe. He's swinging at garbage that's a ball out of the hands. Man's is lost. He doesn't walk. His eyes, his plate vision is just terrible. What's going on with the homeboy, man? Go Yanks. Love the show. And fuck Boston.
All day. All day, Pop. It's
point.
always that same energy for Boston, no matter what. But, yeah, Volpe. Listen, man, this is my problem with the Yanks, right? And I get that they want to have like the loyalty to the players. I feel like there's a part of that that's good.
Mm-hmm.
But
There's teams that are too the other way.
yes,
but-
sometimes you can't let things go on for too long, bro. And this is 2 years now where they let things go on for a really long time with Volpe. Like,
yeah. This year, at least, they eventually, I forget when the switch, like, finally, like, officially, but they at least, like, all right, he's not leading off now. Like, I can live with what he's doing in an 8-9 hole with the defense he plays and the rest of the personnel being what it is. Like, I can live with that.
Right.
But yeah, and the numbers speak for themselves. It's been very little power. He's not walking since April 15th. So, we're cutting out just that first.
That's the season,
Just
Bob.
that
That's
first-
the season.
Just cutting out that first hot streak. And he's had, obviously, other good stretches this season, but 233, 274, 350 slug, a 74 WRC plus, in almost 600 plate appearances. Like, that's a full season. That's a full season to be, and those are like,
It's
in a lot of cases you are not guaranteed like a starting job next year. And that's not to say I haven't liked certain things from Volpe throughout the year, especially in the first half. He had two different like good runs of stuff. The defense took a big step up coming off the Gold Glove year, of course. But lately, he went 1 for 15 in this Red Sox series. He just doesn't look confident at the plate. Like, it's the approach. It's an uninspired approach. I feel like the at bats are like ending so fast. It doesn't feel like he has a great grasp of the zone. Like, still like looking at pitches that are clearly in there.
Beebs. Like
it's been not good.
I'm trying to look at like something that might be favorable to him in some way, and every time I go back, it just feels worse. Like, I went back now a month since August 16th, and we're recording this on the 17th now, and you guys will be watching this and listening to this on the 18th, right?
Yeah. So at least one more game has happened, and he didn't start it.
Correct. So just put that out there. That's 28 games, okay? 106 plate appearances. He's batting .232, but I think the most telling one is the on-base percentage is .264. He's only walked 5 times in that stretch. That's not good. 537 OPS. He's got no homers, 4 doubles in that stretch. I'm just wondering, because I'm looking at how many days straight he would play, right? And Cabrera's there and whatnot, and how many days? And now he's getting a day off, right?
Mm-hmm. Tough righty on the mound.
Tough righty on the mound, that's what we're going to say, but it's really because he's struggling.
Yeah. Tough splits there. Yeah.
Beebs, why the Yankees wait so long to give this kid give him a day off, give him 2 days off, give him I mean, the other day, earlier in the year, you gave Gleyber 2 days off, right? Or 3 days off. Actually, 2 days off and the day off that they had. So that was actually 3 days. Mm-hmm. And then he came back and started hitting. Sometimes you just got this. I feel like the Yankees are scared to feel like they're gonna damage him permanently or something.
It's hard to understand the rhyme or reason why certain guys get certain treatments in a lot of cases. Because the we have no problem with the move they made with Gleyber, but he's proven more than Volpe at this point, just throughout his whole body of work at the MLB level.
Right.
Like Volpe, and hey, they're They're giving him the day to day. They, Oswaldo's been hitting, so he might be forcing the issue. They moved him out of the top of the order. Like, okay, like I'm holding my breath. But a year ago, when he had like a nice August, and then the bottom fell out in September, they all said he got tired at the end of the year, and like he didn't have his legs under him by the end, and
right.
Then this year the plan was still to like play him into the ground again. Like everybody else gets off days, DH days mixed in. Like they take Stanton out of games once or twice a week to get Judge 2 DH days a week. And there's a lot of reasons behind those decisions. Like Volpe, you can argue the offense is taking a step back in a lot of ways. The strikeout rate's better than last year. Like it's a step in the right direction. He goes from 28% strikeout rate to 23 this year, rounding up a little. But he's walking pretty significantly less. And it's not like we were thrilled with how much he walked a year ago. Like we were hoping to elevate that number this year. He's hitting his average exit velocity is lower. His hard hit rate is lower. He's hitting more balls on the ground. He's not pulling as many balls, which that can be seen positively or negatively.
Peeps, I looked last year during the same times. Last year during the same, I don't know what's going on here, and you keep doing the same thing, expecting a different result. I don't know. August 15th, September 15th, about 110 at bats, plate appearances. I'm sorry. He's batting 200, 273 on base percentage, 280 slugging, 653 OPS. He's a little bit better last year, but the problem's still the same. He's actually walking less. I don't know. He had more of a power stroke, which is fine.
Home. Like I'm fine with sacrificing some of that power to get the hit tool up, but the hit tool's not up.
Right. So
early in the year when April, May, he was in a good spot, and that was a trade-off I was willing to do. There's still some streakiness there.
Maybe
I'm hoping this off day.
I'm not saying platoon him.
No, it's not even that. I'm not saying to not still start him most days.
Right.
Like he should still be the presumed starter the vast majority of days. Like I do think, as much as I've liked Oswaldo and wanted to get more time, like every time Oswaldo's gotten like an everyday level run, he's been like exposed a little bit. Maybe that's the next evolution for him.
And he still won a Gold Glove last year.
He won a Gold Glove last year, and it's looked better every step of the way this year. So he's still providing great defense at the most important position for that. That's great. Offensively, every time he's gotten like a little time off, it feels like he has benefited from it. Whether that's like start of this season, coming out of the offseason and spring training, coming out of the All-Star break this year. And everybody said like, hey, yeah, 4 days off helped him. Now hopefully this day off is the next one of those.
I just think that the Yankees
and he can put together 2 good weeks to end this season and carry over to a couple good moments in the playoffs. I just wish it felt like he could carry over the confidence that he clearly has and should have on the defensive end. And I wish he could bring that with him to the plate. And I know that's easier said than done, but you see it go the other way around.
Well, you got to
really
see you got to see results at the same time for and he still is young. He would benefit with a couple of more worked in days off. That's what I just think. Maybe play Oswaldo 2 days out of the week.
If Oswaldo's been knocking on the door, doing the best he can to like force the issue playing time wise, like why we can't get at least as a baseline like Oswaldo, who seems to be getting his 1 day a week at first, sure. Get him 1 day a week at first, 1 day a week at short. Like I think that's like fair.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that. Just go ahead.
Volpe and Rizzo, like neither of them are like playing at a level that like that should be crazy.
Right. Just give him the time. I think that the Yankees need to understand that you also get benefit from being away from the game too. You know, sometimes you clear your mind, you come back a little bit more
Like,
refreshed.
Like honestly, this
That's what
time
I
of
think.
year, it's hard to do that. There's 2 weeks left. Like this is something that, like.
Well, they should have did it in
done
August.
this.
You know, maybe they should have
should
not
have-
waited until he goes 106 plate appearances
like
before you even maybe think about it.
That's like the tough part of this conversation we have to have right next. I'm like, I don't even know what I'm asking for. Like obviously, like get Oswaldo mixed in just because you might need that, but like what? I don't know what I'm even asking for, because like it's
This counts
a
as like
little
a
bit
double.
you've made this bed.
This counts as like a double day off, so maybe 2 days back to back. Kind
That's
of.
true.
So maybe
Double
they
off
look at
day.
it
They
that
got in
way.
late Sunday, so like full. Like
And I don't think it's a
relaxed.
rest day. I think physical rest day. I think it's a mental rest day, which is
That's
fine.
what it. Hey, it seemed to work for Gleyber when they finally did that after years of never doing that either.
I wouldn't even disagree if they give him tomorrow off too. Tomorrow meaning today when you guys are listening, in case you don't know. I wouldn't disagree.
Yeah,
Just
it'd be a whole thing, so I don't expect it. But
Right, but how about you stop worrying about things being a thing and you do think what's best for that particular player, right? So, hey, let me just
he's
give
a kid
him
who has benefited from the times he's gotten a little
Yeah.
physical reset.
give him 3 days, you know, whatever it is, you did it, you know, sometimes that works. Boom. Let him come back with a want to play. Like, and I'm not saying he doesn't want to play, but with a yearning to play, like, okay, I'm ready to go get after it now. I'm sick of sitting down. Every starting player is sick of sitting down or doesn't want to sit down ever. So the next day, whenever Jeter like got a rest day, the next day he's like, he bothered people on the bench, but he said that he wanted to get back out there right away. And the next day he was like more energized to like get back out there. So give him a couple of days. Why not? They probably won't. All right. What else you got?
Volpe's been good at stealing third.
What?
He's
What
been
more
good
can
at
you need?
stealing third.
Why'd you throw that in there?
Just I know he has a lot of steals of third.
I say something nice.
Saying so nice. Get him to second more often.
He's an elite ghost runner.
He's got to get on.
Make it. Yeah.
Got to get on.
The next call is about the guy BBD just mentioned, Gleyber, and he wants to get your outlook on his future.
What's up, guys? Matt Burns, I'm from Jersey, long-time listener. I'm actually calling about Gleyber Torres. He has been on fire as of late. He's been a great leadoff hitter. I don't know what you guys think, and I don't think the Yankees will do it because they have young guys in the minors. Do you think they'd give a potential prove-it deal for, say, 2 years with an option? Just sticking back in that leadoff spot for next year, especially since Volpe's been not too good offensively, get that extra bat in the lineup. Curious what you guys think. Thanks.
I don't think so. I'm not I'm not against it. I like personally I like Gleyber just because, you know, like I'm just cool with Gleyber. And I would love him back. Why not? But I think that the number one, before I can think about anything or anybody else, Soto would need to be re-signed. If he's brought back and Soto's not re-signed, I'm not cool with it. If he's brought back and Soto is re-signed, then it's like, all right, cool. You know, but I can't think of anything past Soto, and I still can't even think about offseason yet because we're still, you know, we got in October to play. But yeah, I can't. Gleyber, the future of Gleyber is these next 2 weeks in the playoffs is basically for me right now.
Yeah.
And then we'll see where we go from there.
Unfortunately, just it feels like it's just hard to see a way Gleyber is back. I'm somebody that's, I think, higher on Gleyber than a lot of people, as are you. I'm comfortable with the complete package he provides, and when he, you know, is hitting like he normally can. Obviously, the first half of this year was he'd be the first to tell you it's not how he wanted it to go.
Right.
And like, you know, the defense, he's always been prone to mistakes. I don't know what's happened this year. It feels like it took another step back, but like on the whole, I think the metrics are less kind to him than the defense actually shows. Whatever. It's just hard to see him coming back, especially if they're trying to manage costs around bringing Soto back.
Correct.
It's just the easiest way to save a little money. Because Gleyber makes a decent salary now. He's gonna be a fascinating free agent if he finishes off this half and has a good playoff run. He can say like he'll be able to say he fully had a good second half and a good playoff run.
And if I'm Gleyber, I wouldn't wait too long in the offseason to try to
get yourself a good situation. But he's obviously he could have been in position for even more. But he's going to be sneaky, deserves a sneaky big contract because he's hitting the. He's going to be 28 the first year of the new contract. He's done it in New York. He has playoff experience. The hitting free agency young. You're going to get his peak years. He plays in up the middle position. How much you value his defense there is a case-by-case basis. I'm sure some teams will be fine with that. Some teams will not be. I'm very curious what he's going to end up with. And I guess we'll never know what he would have ended up with if he just repeated last year or this year. It's going to be interesting. It feels like if he's willing to take the type of shorter term deal that I think the Yankees would be amenable to, why wouldn't he just do it somewhere else for a team that's probably for 1 year going to be willing to offer more money?
Right.
That's just predicting Yankees' financial outlook, I guess, but it's hard to see how they sync up. I'm prepared for these 2 weeks in October to be the end of Gleyber, and it's very interesting. We don't see a lot of prospects the Yankees called up, gave a chance, they played their 6 years, they hit free agency, and then they go. I haven't seen that. Robinson Cano is the one. Usually, you trade guys.
Cano got extended though.
Yeah, Cano did. That's true. Cano did get a first extension, so not even.
Yeah, I don't.
Yeah, Cano's
really
the closest I can even think of, and I'm sure a lot of teams it's sneaky. Very few guys who it's called up original team. Obviously, there was as a prospect he was traded, but one team 6 years hit free agency. Goodbye.
Right.
You probably play that game with a few teams and realize that doesn't happen. A lot of guys get traded. It's a business, all that. But he's one of the more interesting careers to think about.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know.
I'll be rooting for him wherever we go. I like Gleyber. It doesn't feel like I'll believe the reunion happens if it happens, but it feels like they've been pointing that way for some time.
Yeah.
Look good in the Mariners uniform.
I guess, yeah. I mean, as long as he gets a job anywhere, I'm fine. I'm cool.
All right,
Not the Red Sox.
No. Next caller
Yes.
is concerned with the state of the Yankees ace.
Okay.
How you guys doing? I'm calling from Florida. I was just wondering, I know this is obviously a dumb question, and I know the answer, but let's be honest. What's up with Garrett Cole this year? He's obviously had some good starts, but you think it's just a little weird because maybe he started late, had a weird start to the season, and you think this offseason he'll clean himself up, or should we be worried? Thank you, guys. Go Yanks.
Yeah, I would definitely. Cole isn't having the year he wanted. It started late. I think that is a big part of it. The games against the Mets and Red Sox have been not good. That's been kind of the story of the season, narrative wise, for him since the injury. But I can't bring myself to be nervous about him.
Yeah,
as long as he's feeling good. We're not facing the Red Sox in the playoffs.
Right. Devers isn't
if
there.
If the World Series matchup is Yankees Mets, I'll think about it again a lot. But
yes,
until then,
yeah, that'll be a good position to be in to worry about that. But I'm not worried about Garrett Cole, for example, like against the Astros or against any other team that he may face. I mean, the Red Sox was the person that you legitimately get worried about.
Yeah, and that's one that's been like a multi-year thing, and Devers
like, career. Yes,
like that's been like the entire time we've known him. But I think about how many more times he and Devers are going to face each other because they're both obviously like with their teams for the long haul. Mm-hmm. Those numbers, that's going to be very interesting. But yeah, Cole, before that Red Sox game, since his last game against the Mets, so since the start of August, he had 7 starts with a 1.58 ERA.
Yeah. And
there's like good offenses and teams mixed in there. Rangers twice. I know they've been disappointing, but like they still have guys. Cleveland's in there. He had 6 shutout against them. Mm-hmm. The now surgent Tigers. He had 6 shutout against them.
That's crazy. This is how you know baseball.
Toronto,
Baseball's
he's been getting
long time. The Tigers are like
his worst start in that stretch is 5 innings, 3 runs against the Nats. It's like, okay,
right.
That's fine. Like that's the worst you get. You have a chance to win that game. Like
I'm not worried about Cole, man.
I can't bring myself to be worried about it.
The only way I'm worried about Cole is if he's like hurt or like there's something going on with him with that. But there's other problems that I'm honestly that would keep me up at night before it's Cole. Like, the Yankees going up against left-handed pitching. The who's gonna hit in the playoffs? The bullpen in the playoffs. Like, there's so many more other concerns for me. Even in the same starting rotation, so many other concerns for me before I even get to Cole on the list.
Yeah.
So I can't. I just can't think about Cole as a concern for me right now. That's just me being real. But I get it, him losing to some of the teams. It's especially the Red Sox, bro. It's like, and you lose like that. I think that a lot of the things in that start that changed the whole mentality was that weird walk to Devers.
The walk was weird.
The walk was just weird.
Obviously, it was like a whole thing.
Right, but then other than that, he was like. Before that, sorry, I don't want to say other than that, but before that, he was like.
Because after that, it just like
after that,
unraveled
just went to shambles.
It's like the walk was weird. It's a very weird start. Like there's no 2 ways about it. It was such a weird. It was such a weird start.
Yeah.
So it was like upsetting, but
yeah.
You're not facing the Red Sox. You don't have to worry about Devers anymore.
Yes.
And he's been really good against not the Red Sox, not the Mets.
Yes.
I'm trying to figure out the math on it. Because I think
the big concern really is the left-handed. I think the left-handed pitching thing is a real thing, a real big thing. Because I feel like if teams are facing the Yankees and you can just set your roster for that series, they're just going to load up on any lefty. It doesn't even matter who it is.
That's the thing. That's like if it isn't better, like you can just get diced up by if a team has a good lefty
might get
reliever.
like somebody might just go get like Keuchel.
Who has him right now?
Or just throw him against the Yanks, and it feels like 2015 all over again. That I have more fears of something like that happening versus Garrett Cole.
Garrett Cole, if I did the math right here, against not the Yankees, not the Red Sox, 61 innings, a 1.77 ERA this year.
Yeah, so that's fine.
He's been like as good as he's ever been statistically.
And even the one against the Mets, he was still kind of coming back.
Yeah, those Mets games were both pretty early in this season for him.
Right. The first ones
They were two of they were.
specifically.
The first one was literally his second start.
Right. So
And the other was his 7th start, and he had just had. He went on like a 5-game run between those that was like fine. That included a disappointing, not dreadful, but a disappointing Red Sox game. 4.14 earned, still struck out 8.
he was going through like a ramp up or something, right? Like they were like ramping him
There was
up.
a ramp up. He actually got to 100 pitches pretty quick, but there was definitely like a little ramp up. 62, 72, 90, 90. Then the shackles are off, but he hasn't thrown 100 in a little bit. So I don't know. That's something to watch for. If that's,
It could be a him thing. Maybe he doesn't want to throw 100.
yeah. I wonder if, because he's gonna pitch game 1 of the Oakland series Friday, and then game 3 of the Orioles series. I wonder if the Oakland game, he's like, all right, this is the last one. I'm gonna like air it out, like go my distance. Like get to 100 again, just to have done it recently, and then that Orioles game, which should be his last start, assuming everything's locked up, but they don't need him that last game. If I have that right, I might be missing a game. Either way, that's just me speculating how many pitches Garrett Cole's going to throw 3 days from now, but. He's been really, really, really good against not the Mets, not the Red Sox.
Yeah.
That's the math I was frantically trying to do.
Yeah, see it.
Okay, we got one more little player analysis here, and then we'll get away into some more team aspects.
Okay.
Hey guys, Yankee fan coming out of Indiana. Just wanted to talk about, the Martian, man. He looking like he's coming off a slow start. Do you think that that's partially due to the fact that he was down there in AAA and, we just trying to get him in the fold now and he's still coming on a slow start? Do y'all think he'll be ready for the playoffs?
What? That's it?
That's it. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, I think his thing is an at-bat and comfortability thing. Last year was last year. I don't know if he's also trying to make up for lost time. That's possible too. But I'm really interested to see, keep seeing his at-bats. Even though right now it doesn't look like he has the results. I still want to see him in there every day. Listen, Volpe's gotten the run that he's gotten. And I think Jasson Dominguez at least should get something close to that, at least. But then again, what do I know?
Yeah, he again, not worried. I'm very curious. Like, I think if the playoffs started tomorrow, I would guess Verdugo's in the lineup and not Dominguez. I think Dominguez would be on the team, but
right,
he's since coming up, which is he's only played 5 games since coming back. Weird. He is walking at a decent enough rate. He's reached base in 4 of the 5 games, which obviously you can have that and it not be a good stat line. We are looking at that.
Right.
But like when it's a young player first coming up like that, that's enough signs of life that like I'm not going to sit here and be like worried.
Yeah.
My long-term outlook on Jasson Dominguez has not changed in 5 games, but it would be a really good thing for this team if he got hot and there's still 2 weeks to do it. And it's not like he's like not looked the part to me.
Yeah, I think he's just getting his footing. He'll be fine.
We saw him not need to get his footing last year for a week, so our perceptions are certainly altered. But
yeah, he's fine. I think he's gonna be fine. He's gonna be good.
And he homered last night.
He did.
I hope.
Be cool.
If he did.
All right.
Seattle's hard to hit in.
Speaking of playoffs, our next call has something to do with a player being present for playoffs, even if he's not necessarily on the roster.
Okay.
Hey, how's it going, guys? Long-time listener. I'm just going to give you guys a break from all the strategizing and ranting that goes on and give you just something funny that I noticed while watching the team this year. The first half of the season, whenever Judge would hit a home run, he'd celebrate with his teammates. And then Jamani Jones would be waiting at the end of the dugout for a quick dap and a chest bump. And I noticed it a few times since the Yankees DFA Jones, but Judge did it again when he hit the grand slam against Boston. If you look on the replay, he'll go down the line and celebrate with his teammates and give a subtle yet noticeable dap and chest bump to an imaginary Jamani Jones. So I'll ask, does Aaron Judge miss Jamani Jones, and should the Yankees have Jones on the bench for playoff games, even if he's not rostered, just for the vibes, and so Judge can celebrate with his guy Jamai when he goes yard?
I mean, you could have. I think you could have.
I think
as
he
many,
can be there, right?
You can have as many people as you want, as long as they're in the organization. They can be on the bench.
Yeah, I think he's in the clear to hang out. If he needs to officially be on the taxi squad,
right,
or something, maybe. I don't know if the rules maybe have changed since COVID years, but yeah, keep Jamai. He was with the team long enough. The guys like him, so if that helps. And for what it's worth, he's been hitting in AAA. So he's played 30 games down there, 286, 381, 495 slug, 129 WRC plus. So sure, 875 OPS. She's been hitting in AAA. Story of Jamai's life.
Let's see.
Yeah, Jeter was on the bench for the 95 playoffs. He wasn't on the roster.
Yeah.
They do that. They do
Same
that.
thing.
Do that. I don't know if he has to be on the 40 man or something, but I don't think so.
Right.
If you know for sure, you're one lying, two let us know down below.
Yes, please.
You're lying. All right. We'll continue with some playoff talk. Someone has a
Played 5 innings at third base.
Does he steal third base?
That I don't know. That was in the majors this year. He's played 72 innings at third base in the minors this year. So
our next
I'm on the
caller
pulse.
has a new playoff rotation idea.
Okay.
What's up, guys? Hear me
What's
out
good?
here. Playoff rotation. Game 1, Cole in the normal pen.
Yes.
Game 2, Rodon followed by Heel. Game 3, Schmidt followed by Nestor. And you could switch that up if you want, but I think the righty lefty's a nice touch. The game when Nestor followed Clark last week was a work of art. And we've seen this formula work before in the playoffs. McCullers and Morton did it to us in Game 7. Then they went on and did it again in Game 7 of the World Series. Our offense is talented, but it's not good enough to be consistent throughout October. And you can't name one guy in our pen that you're confident in for a big playoff situation. You gotta pitch well in October. I think this is our best chance. Let me know.
I don't think the question of it would it work or not. I think it can work. I think it has worked in the past. I think the question is buy-in. If you can get buy-in from the guys to do that, then go ahead and do it. Got no problem. If you can get buy-in from those guys, go ahead and do it. When the Yankees tried to do in 2020, they tried to do the J-Hap situation. It was 2020, right? They tried to do J-Hap after Davey situation. None of them bought in to that. You know, like Davey didn't know, like, am I really in here? Hap was like, I don't really like coming out of the pen like that anymore. I'm a starter. You know, so nobody bought in, and the Yankees got shelled. You have to have complete buy-in into that plan. Now, the Yankees are saying all the right things, like the Yankees players that are put in that position are saying all the right things. And
Everyone that's had that tested to a degree so far has said the right things around it.
Right. So if that's happening, then and they like it and it's working, then fine. I think if you're telling guys, hey, you're gonna come out of the bullpen this day, and on this day you're gonna start, I'm cool with. Hey, this is your throw day. You're gonna come out of the pen or be available out of the pen on this day, and we're gonna use you as a weapon. So they feel like, oh, I'm a weapon. You know, it's not like you're just out here to mop up, or we don't think you can start anymore or anything like that. I think that's how you can get guys to buy into something like that.
Yeah. I don't think having it be that formal of a plan is gonna be necessary. And you can have Heel available to like ready to go to piggyback after Rodon. But like the way Rodon is pitched, especially if Cole, you get Garrett Cole who can go 6-7 innings, no question. Like Rodon, I think you're gonna just give him a normal start and you have the bullpen. If Cole was Cole the day before, you have the bullpen.
You do fully available,
ready. Obviously, you're relying on some variables there. Like Heel deserves to start. He's been good, and I think he can. You can have somebody be piggybacking after him. I agree that the Nestor Clark piggyback day, vice versa, was cool and good and kind of worked out perfectly. And both of those guys are guys who can piggyback. I suppose in this vein, yesterday I did update the playoff roster prediction.
Okay.
I updated it. I have one spot that's really in question. I have the Cole Rodon Heel locked in starters.
Okay.
I have Clark and Nestor in the bullpen. I have Stroman.
Cole Rodon Heel starters?
Yes. I have Clark and Nestor in the pen. They've both done it before. They're the two that I would probably kick there. You could argue either of them deserve to be available as the fourth starter more than Stroman does. I have Stroman ready to pitch game 4 if that's what you need. Outfield, Judge, Soto, Stanton, Verdugo, Dominguez, which is a change from the last time we played this game where we didn't see a way for Verdugo and Dominguez to both be on there. I have them both on there. Grisham is in question just because they haven't used him at all. He has one at bat in September. Today, as we're recording this, is September 17th.
Okay.
He's batted once. He hit a grand slam. That's his one at bat this month. Infield's self-explanatory. Rizzo, Gleyber, Volpe, Jazz, Oswaldo, John Birdie is your pinch runner and can play wherever. Wells and Trevi are your catchers. And in the bullpen, Weaver, Canely, Cousins, Clay are like as locked can be. Those 4 will be there.
Okay.
Hamilton and Hill, I have pretty locked. Hamilton's looked nasty since returning.
He has, man.
Hill has left lower leverage lefty out of the bullpen. I love what he does. I think he's on there. So there's one spot in question, and your choice is having an extra reliever, which when you have Clark and Nestor, and if it's early in a series, Stroman, if you have him penciled in the roster I've constructed, I don't know that you need that. But that choice would be between Leiter, Meza, Ron, I guess we can say is in that mix. I'd have a hard time seeing it being him. Like Efros, I just don't see them picking him.
No.
Poteet, like I liked what we saw this year, but you don't need him. They don't need innings necessarily. So there's a choice between probably Leiter and Meza. If you want another lefty, they just had Meza throw 3 innings the other day, so maybe they are preparing him to do a slop roll. Or you can have Grisham on the bench and he's there literally just for center field defense, and if he happens to bat, he is capable of hitting a home run. But that's the roster. Depending how many pitchers you want determines if Grisham can be on the team, and that's kind of weird that Grisham's spot's in question. He hasn't done anything like wrong. I know he hasn't been the most productive in a reserve role, but what a weird year he's had. That he started for 5 weeks, was good, had to go back to being in a reserve role that he hasn't really done before this season, and has not really produced from there. But he plays good defense, but you're not gonna have him pinch run. Who are you having him pinch hit for?
I guess it just boils down to...
He's a weird spot, so I would guess they go an extra arm.
Yeah, sure. I mean, I think it'll more boil down between Verdugo and Grisham. I know they're playing Verdugo.
Verdugo's like been playing and he has been productive of late.
Mm-hmm.
So, but regardless of the production, they've been playing him. So I have to believe he'd be on the team. The argument for Grisham to be on the team more than anything else is like if they're really open to like whichever Verdugo or the Martian isn't starting, like if they're going to be quick to pinch hit for them in a certain spot or something like that, you just have an extra center field option if that's what's needed.
I don't think you.
But like Judge isn't going to come out of a game.
Yeah,
it's like
hopefully not.
Like if he comes out, it's because you got hurt and you have bigger problems. But Dominguez can go to center. Like you already have one layer of center field backup.
Yeah, I agree. Probably Grisham. Probably Grisham's it.
If you're going one more position player, it's that. Unless you're going Penrice or Narvaez to have a third catcher, but which isn't impossible. If it was the wild card round,
let's see who they face in the first round.
But
whoever they face in the first round, then they'll make the determination. Also,
if whoever they face has a lot of lefties, and maybe that's all right. Mesa, we might need you to get out of an inning when Gunnar comes up.
Right.
If we've already used Hill. So I don't know. The playoff roster's in a spot that's like, it's kind of in an easy spot to guess. There's one roster spot that's really a question at this moment.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm fine with that, but the Jasson Dominguez, I think, should be on that roster.
I have him firmly on the roster. And
Verdugo's playing, but you're right. He just hasn't played, so that they just kind of like
the fact that they're like just not using him is bizarre.
Yeah,
I know the call was about rotation plan, but that's all part of it.
Yeah,
and the rotation's in a good. They're knocking on everything. They're really healthy right now, like healthiest they've been. Like you look at some of these other teams, Cleveland. The Dodgers, like they're banged up and trying to piece together like the back ends of their bullpens and or like their final rotation spots in a weird spot. The Yankees have 6 viable starters.
Yeah.
Like 6 guys who on most teams would get a start in the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
That's cool. They haven't had excess pitching going into a playoff run, knocking on all the wood.
I hate talking about it so much because I feel like that's gonna like by the time we come back tomorrow, hopefully not. But I like where it's at right now. I don't want to.
It's trending in a nice direction.
Yeah,
and maybe by, I guess they can't have clinched a playoff spot by the time this is out. But tomorrow night or tonight, as you're listening to this. I think they can.
Yeah.
At least as of this moment. I guess if Tigers...
Don't even look at
if
that.
If Tigers won last
Win
night...
the AL East. That's all I
Win the East. But it'll be a nice moment.
Yeah.
I like it. Boone said they will celebrate.
Okay.
There'll be a cool Tommy Kahnle gif.
That's all you can hope for. Anything else you guys want to plug or shout out before we head off?
Let's see. Yankees, please win this series. Check out JM Gaming. Got a bunch of like reels also that we're doing on there, and I think I'm streaming this week. A couple of Yankee games, so we'll be doing that. Last homestand of the year is coming up. Hope to see you guys at the stadium as well.
Late nights this week.
Yes, late nights this week. So I'll be streaming with you guys. Feel free to join up with me for the late nights.
See you for the recap Thursday.
Hit it high.
Voicemails.
Hit it far.
Voicemails.
Hit it